Hello everyone and welcome back to the Honeybee Stamps YouTube channel. This is Kelly and I am bringing you day 2 of the brand new Love Letters release available at honeybeestamps.com on January the 2nd. Today's collection is all about giving to your Valentine or your Galentine, and I'm going to start out by just doing a scan through of all the products for today. We have a great 6x6 inch paper pad, some great stamp sets, either for your Valentine or Galentine. I love that both of those are included. There's some great background stamps and images here in this one, along with great sentiments. And this one has a coordinating die set as well that's going to cut out those sentiments as well as those little letters and images there in the top. There's this fun 6x8 inch stamp set called Gal Pals with a beautiful image and then lots of really great sentiments for the bestie in your life. There's also a quilted cover plate die. Now this cover plate die is really cool by itself, or you can pair that with coordinating stencils. The stencils are going to give it that finished quilted look, either by adding hearts or dots there on those little cross sections. These are going to make it super easy to add either glitter paste or ink over the top of your die cut card panel. So I'm going to jump in and we're going to take a close-up look at all of these products for today's collection. First is the beautiful stamp set called Gal Pals. You can see that fantastic image there with the girls arm in arm. Lots of great sentiments like all the single ladies, Gal Pals for life, I love you, mean it, be my Galentine, hey bestie, BFF, to my bestie, best babe forever. So these are great not only for Valentine's Day, but also to send birthday cards and just a pick-me-up to the special girlfriend in your life. There's also that coordinating die set that's going to make it super easy to cut out those girls and also all of those sentiments. So it makes it really easy to put together a card creation with those. Next up is our Hugs Enclosed background stamp, and then this one includes a lot of little extras, so I'm loving this one. So you get a great image with all those letters that are just piled up and spilling out. You can see the little messages coming out of the envelopes as well as all the little hearts there. There's 4 extra little images there at the top of the envelopes and some great sentiments like happy mail, handmade, I made this just for you, and Hugs Enclosed. There's a coordinating die set that's going to cut out all the sentiments and all the little letters at the top. So that one is super fun. Next is Will You Be My? And then there is Will You Be My Valentine? And then Will You Be My Galentine? So either way, there's also a string of hearts there in the center. The coordinating die set for this one is going to cut out all 3 of those stamped images. So both of the sentiments and then the row of hearts. Next up is our beautiful and bright and fun Love Letters 6x6 inch paper pad. I'm just going to cut my new pad apart here and give you a scan through of all that beautiful, bright, and colorful paper. So we're going to take a look at these up close. So this comes across as very brown on the camera. I wish you could look at that and see it in real life. It's actually a very dark, rich red. You can see all the great color, all the great graphics on these, like these lips here. So fun for Valentine's Day. There's also some great just geometric images, some watercolor design. I love that pink into the white. There's great solids. I love all the images here with the hearts, and then there are gray hearts. Those are like a really rich charcoal gray, those darker hearts. There's XOXO, you can see all the way across that paper. There's the fun floral pattern. Again, some great solids and watercolor look, great for a sunset. Here's an orange and another great floral. We have lots of dots. Again, some solids, a great plaid. We have some mix matchy little letters there, and of course you can see that that spells out love. We have some really fun hearts, XOXO, and then you'll see that next piece of paper matches that hugs enclosed background stamp. So it's fun to pair and match those together. There's also a great white paper that has a subtle gray check, as you can see here, great for any background. And then we're back to that really rich red with the white polka dots. I'm going to do one more little flip through here so you can see all that rich, beautiful color, texture, and then all those fun graphics. Now there's also a coordinating gem set that goes along with these that matches perfectly. So if you like our adhesive gems, that is available in the love letter colors as well. Now I'm going to get into some card making with today's collection. This is the Hugs Enclosed background stamp. I am going to stamp that on that light turquoise paper. I'm going to do some heat embossing. I'm first going to use my anti-static powder tool and then ink this up with my embossing ink. And I love using my Misty for this because that way I can stamp that background stamp several times to make sure that I get a really nice and clean image. I'm adding clear embossing powder over the top of that stamped image. I gave up on my little spoons and I'm just going to pour it over. And I'm going to tap that off. And then once I get it really well covered with that embossing powder, I'm going to use my heat tool and then set that embossing powder and make sure it dries nicely and it's nice and smooth and glossy. Now this is going to be kind of a tone on tone look with that. You can see that that embossing powder is clear, it's heating up, and then that design is kind of popping out as I heat that and set that embossing powder. Now you can see that beautiful background stamp back there. I have stamped and cut with the coordinating dies the Happy Mail sentiment. And then I'm just going to take some of those little extra letters, the little Happy Mail images, and I'm going to place those right around that sentiment. Now to add just a little bit of something to those little images, because it's just white paper with black ink, I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow with a neutral Copic marker. It's really light. I believe it's like the N0, and that just gives that a little something so it's not stark white. Once I have my placement of all my little Happy Mail letters all ready to go, I stick those down. Some of them I am popping up with foam tape, and then some I'm adhering directly to my card base with our Be Creative liquid adhesive. For the last little touch, I'm going to add a red clay heart, and these clay hearts can be found in the embellishment section on honeybeestamps.com. There's lots of little clay bits and pieces and sequins and mixes and things like that. So I thought this red clay heart would be perfect right there in the center of that little letter. Now here's a close-up of the finished card. You can see all the great embossed design there with the embossing powder, and then of course that great Happy Mail sentiment and all the little extra letters. Now next up is my daughter Emily. She's 17. She's going to create a card with the quilted cover plate die, the coordinating stencils, the Gal Pal stamp set, and then the coordinating dies that go along with that stamp set. She ran that cover plate die through the die cut machine, and now she's going to use the coordinating stencils. So in the stencil set, there are dots and hearts, and they're designed to go into those little cross sections of that quilted die cut. She used a little pixie spray and stuck down the heart stencil, and then she's going to quickly brush over some black soot distress oxide ink right over the top of those hearts, and it's going to give that a kind of a tone on tone look with that deep charcoal paper. After she gets the ink just the way she wants it, she's going to buff off the top of that stencil to pick up any ink, and then peel that back, and then you can see the cute design there where those lines are cut and embossed with the cover plate die, and then of course the heart stencil. She's using the Gal Pal stamp set, so she's going to use that super cute image of the girls or the ladies there arm in arm She's going to use the Sisters Before Misters sentiment, which is super cute, and she got a kick out of that. So she has prepped that large stamp with some embossing sticky ink, and that just gets it ready to stamp better. It kind of preps the stamp for her Copic Safe ink. She's using the Misty so she can stamp that a couple of times to make sure she gets all that nice detail in their clothes and in their hair. And she's just going to do some simple Copic coloring on her little gal pals. She's doing a horizontal card, so she's prepping her card base there with the Score Buddy, and now she can get everything ready to go. She is going to trim down her charcoal gray panel because she wants a little bit of a white border around the sides. And then you can see there her little gal pals together. She's used the coordinating dies to cut out right around those girls that she's colored with the Copic markers. And again, like I said, she's going to take off just a little snippet around each of the 4 sides and then add that onto her white card base. You can see how that's going to make the perfect little white border and things right around that card for her little gal pals to sit on. She's going to use just a little bit of tape runner and take down her quilted die cut. And then once she gets that down, she can add her gal pals and then of course her cute little sentiment, the Sisters Before Misters. She's going to use a little bit of foam tape to pop up the ladies or the girls on the front of the card, and that just adds a little bit of dimension. She's going to butt up the bottom of that die cut there. You can see where she's going to line it up right there on that charcoal paper, and it almost looks like the die cut kind of goes and has a border all the way around. She added her sentiment and then some clear little adhesive gems. And then once she gets her gem placed, her Sisters Before Misters card is all finished. She had a good time creating this card for her friend. So here's a close-up of Emily's card. And then I'm going to show you a picture of the finished card. And you can see all the detail in that fun quilted cover plate. And then, of course, that super cute Gal Pals stamp and sentiment set. So this has been it for day 2 of the Love Letters release. Thanks for joining and hanging out as Emily and I created cards, and I hope you'll join us for day 3 tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.